everyone, welcome to a new video on the channel. Today we are doing the very first month of 2024 in my reading journal. If you didn't see the flip through for the setup pages before this, I will link that below. It will also tell you a little bit about what the year-long theme for this book is, but I can briefly go over it now. Essentially, I've decided to do 12 months of traveling in fantasy worlds as the theme. We can't quite get away from the Pinterest aesthetic, so I've enlisted a very good friend of mine who is amazing at Pinterest sleuthing over on Instagram. Her username is Camilla Reads, and we have been working hard to find the vibes that I'm going for. So instead of focusing on one book and then trying to find all the vibes for that using the people, the clothing, the just the overall vibes like I did for the last year and a half, I have more of a focus on the architecture, the world. What do I feel like is involved aside from people? And from there I'm going to hopefully attempt to have more of a focus on the world aspect and not so much what I've done in the past. There are a couple of elements here and there that are just going to probably cross over from the past, but otherwise it's been more so a huge focus on what the world would feel like. And as you can see on the left hand side, I have done like a teaser picture. I'm no good at drawing, so this is very obviously a theme for Fourth Wing. We have travelled to, hopefully I'm saying it right, 𝓤𝓲𝓷𝓫 or Basgiath War College, and yeah, where I've got a parapet on the other side, and then on the right side I had the collage of how I felt that world would feel. I've used a varsity type font for the headers. It was a lot of work to not only trace but colour in, but we got there. I've done the rest off camera, as you can see, and we've already moved on to the monthly view. So this year I'm trying to use this journal in a different way. I mean, it'll be pretty much the similar layouts because I found things that have worked for me, but I do want to change things up a little bit. If you followed me for the giveaway journal progress, you'll see that I have recycled a few things from the layouts there, just because I think that they work. So on the left hand side, because I'm in a B5 journal, I can fit the entire calendar view. That is where I will mark down the reads I read every day, the percentage of how much I've read them, or if I DNF something. And then on the right side I've got a space for ARC reads, and they are my focus every month, so I'd like to have them next to the calendar, and also a section for any books that I purchase. I have kept this very simple, always do, because I need the space for the information rather than filling it in with decorative elements. But this book is larger than I'm used to. I've never used a B5 journal before, so I did have a lot of learning curves along the way while setting up this theme on how to know how many decorative elements to use, where to put them. Sometimes it felt really bare still, like down the bottom you'll see in a moment that I add some washi tape, just because I didn't know what to do with that gap, and I didn't want to fill it with more photos because then it would look really like cluttered. So it's just little teething issues like that that I'm going to have to face over the next few months until I find the swing of things. But I am happy to have a lot more room to work with. I've elongated the monthly view, so I have a bit more space to write down books that I've read. I'm hoping it will work. And as usual, I go through a myriad of different washi tapes, but I did manage to settle on this grid yellow one in a moment that you'll see me put down, and I put a bronzy striped one over top when I figured out which one I wanted to use. There was a couple of chevron ones that I did pick out, but they didn't really flow at this point. I ended up using that black one off to the side, the zigzag one, but I'm not hugely fond of it, so maybe I'll change it, but I just didn't really know what to put there. It was kind of like I hadn't planned for any washi tape, so I was making mistakes. On the next page, we've moved to the readathon that I'm participating in this month. It is the TBRathon. I will link the announcement video below for that. I think it's hosted by 𝓤𝓼𝓷𝓬𝓿 TBR0. I think that's what it is. Like I said, I'll mention, link that below for you all to see. Essentially, I've gone with the bingo board. There were several different boards you could use, and I'm hoping to participate in a lot of the little prompts there. I have got this little Dutch door to the right that I attempted to do a ideas portion for books that I'd want to use for perhaps some of these ideas, which I have been using. I'm really annoyed that the header is not center. Originally, when I set this up, it didn't have the decorative paper element down the side, but I needed that there to make it work for this view. It's not going to work for the back view, but it made it a lot more aesthetic to look at. You'll get why, because the headers on the next page stuck out. So that is why the decorative element was added on, and that meant that the header became not as central as it had been beforehand. But we're going to flip over and see that this page is not going to need lots. I've just got my usual TBR section, my prompt section, because I am playing the TBR jar, but it has upgraded. I do have a video on it, but the footage is really shaky, so I'm still trying to figure out how I'm going to showcase that all with you all, because I was supposed to have it up already and I just got frustrated with it, so I'm not sure what I'm going to do yet. But essentially I have changed the game a little bit for this year, and at some point I will explain how that's going. But this page is always the same. I've changed buddy reads to events because I don't feel like I will be participating in as many structured buddy reads or book club reads over 2024, but I still wanted to have a space for it just in case I pick anything up. And I wanted to make sure that I had a lot of space for the library hall, because that is where I put a lot of my information these days. I am always reading audiobooks from the library now, so definitely needed to add that section with a lot of space for books. I've just gone through Libby and hired out a whole bunch more, so hopefully fill a lot of the TBRathon prompts. Finally, we're flipping over to the reading log, and in this page I have changed things up a little bit. Again, as I mentioned before, if you followed for the giveaway journal, you'll notice that this setup is pretty much the same, just on a different plan, as in it's still 6. No, sorry, she had 8 per page. I've got 12, and I've simply just changed the amount in each box. I believe I left space in the giveaway journal for a little bit of like a sentence or two, and on this one, obviously, this stamp is going to take up all that space. So there are 2 lines at the top to write the header, and then the usual things that I do track along the box side where I'm going to put the cover of each book. I was really inspired by an Bookstagram follower that I have, what Bethany reads, and I decided to kind of take what she has written down and put it into my own. So we're just going to fill in this gap here with some washi tape, because I was a bit stressed about how open it looked, and then we're done. This is a really nice and sweet video this month, sorry, just because I'm super behind in getting anything out. I was supposed to have this out a while ago. I did film it before January hit, but I just ran out of time to edit it, and I'm editing this on the 6th, so hopefully it's not too far into January that you won't be disinterested. Like I mentioned at the beginning, this is a first attempt at this type of layout, this new system for me, and also I hope that you feel the vibes that I'm trying to get with for the worlds. I definitely don't want to just follow books. I wanted to try and encapsulate worlds that I've really enjoyed reading. Until we next meet, I hope that you have fun reading, and I'll see you in my next video sometime very soon. Bye everyone!